Mill City Boxing, home of that high-level pro boxing media, the Fighters and Trainers channel, and most importantly, the People's channel. And now when we say what's going on, champ, it got to sound different.
Man, it don't sound. Nah, it do. It do. It got a different ring to it. But someone asked me just yesterday, man, how do it feel being a champ? I said, honestly, there's more belts out there. I'm happy, and being a champion was something that always resigned within me. I knew I was a champion even after that loss against Pollo. Even though I don't believe I lost to him anyway, it's cool, but I still gotta see him again. Um, Even after that, it was a lesson. Really not a loss. It's a lesson. You know what I mean? But I can now solidify that I'm a champion on the books. Stop playing. A world champion.
I feel you on that, but it gotta feel somewhat type of different for you because it's like when you have brothers, fathers, and stuff like that, they already accomplished things in the sport. You kind of
Uh,
living under the shadows as well. How does it feel to like just? Do you feel separated now? Like I don't know. Talk to me. You know what I
when
mean
I
by that, right?
Yeah, I get exactly what you mean by that. We all got a different profile. So when you look us up individually, you'll see our portfolio, what we've done, accomplished, and etc. It doesn't set me apart because when Mr. Gary Russell, his ring name, my oldest brother, when he became world champion, it was like the family became a world champions. Like all of us collectively, we in the gym collectively. We all grinding together collectively. We all learning and studying together collectively. So when one win, we all win. When I got this title, I just didn't get it for myself. I got it for my brothers, for the family. This is just another accomplishment that we done put into our profile, our portfolio. Like I said, we done broke copybook records, made history, and now we got two brothers that's world champion. That has been world champion. In the same household. Now we searching for greatness, and we definitely striving for it as well. But that's my personal take on that. It don't really set me apart or make me feel greater than my other brothers. We all share this victory together. So
You could see that at the end of the fight. You know what I mean? Just all your brothers in the ring. You could just feel that. You know that energy. That it was just like we passing it down, and it was nice to
yeah,
see.
yeah, for real. And a lot of people, I don't think they understand like the dynamic of our family, always having a father figure that's always in our corner. Like if you were to look at all of our fights, all of mine's, all of Mr. Gary Russell, all of Gary Antonio Russell, all of us are looking like downward out the ring. Because my father, that's where he was. He was the head coach, the lead coach, and he had a bad leg. For those who know, they know. He had a bad leg, so he was never coming up on the ring apron. He was always right there by the stool. He'd put the stool in, and he'd stand up like right outside the ring. So whenever we get instructions, it's like we looking down with at him, listening, making sure that we got our thinking cap on and taking instructions, critical instructions too. So nowadays it's kind of like that big change from not looking down, taking instructions from my father, as opposed to now being face to face with my brother. You know what I mean? The comfort zone is there, but it's a different type of comfort. It's a different type of comfort, you know, and a level of respect is just natural that everybody should know this naturally. I'm gonna respect my parents more than I respect my siblings. You know what I mean? You willing to argue with your siblings before you argue with your parents.
For
It's just
sure.
that simple, right? It's just a natural thing. So that change within our structure is it can be dramatic to a degree. I'm just glad I was able to make that change to the point where, so now these uh, 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 instructions that's being given, I'm able to take them more comfortably. Because a lot of times it's like I'm looking at it as Gary Russell Jr., Mr. Gary Russell, Gary Antonio Russell, and me myself, any of my brothers, we're all still students in my mind to a degree. Then my father was the coach. Yes, we all got the IQ and we've been doing it long enough to be able to give some good instructions on how to be victorious or how to, I don't know, just capitalize on what your opponent doing. Sometimes people don't capitalize on what their opponents are doing. They got flaws, and you can take advantage of their flaws by capitalizing. But it'd be more of a comfort from my father giving me instruction because I'm used to him being the head coach versus my brother. We both still learning, but yet he's still trying to give me instructions on how to do what's right. Yeah, he can be telling me the right things, but that transition on the vulnerability, full undivided, like blind trust that I got from my father is not as equally as the same for my brothers.
It's not.
It's not. I mean, but it's definitely right there. Cause and it's a like small as a grain of rice, that type of thing. But like we always say, the difference between great and good is inches and centimeters, and the ability to produce. It's not the drastic things; they very subtle. It's something that subtle, that small, can change a lot. And a lot of times fights are won before you step in the ring anyway, and it's won in here psychologically. So, like I said, that change within our structure is kind of like it's been an obstacle for me. And I don't really be speaking on these type of things because it's my job to make the adjustment anyway.
You're the
If I
boss.
want to take right, if I want to take this as far as I can go, I have to be able to be a person that can adjust. I gotta have that versatility within me.
That being said, do you feel like in the future you might need to say, you know what, don't have that same belief from my father to my brothers right now? Do I add another coach in the future over
I,
time? Is it something that you can grow?
no, 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 no. That would never be the case. That
No?
would never. That would never be the case.
Okay.
That's what make our legacy a legacy. It's
True.
in from the same household, to Olympians, four national champions, to world title holders. Copybook records, breaking history, making history. All of that has been under the same household with the same individuals, guided by the hands of one person. That's my father. You know what I mean? Of course, collectively, everybody had partaken. As far as the brothers helping the environment be what the environment is. A lot of times we fuel ourselves off of our environment. Like we
Mhm.
pull energy from our environment. My environment consists of my brothers being here. We all grinding together. So I can pull energy from my oldest brother. I can pull energy from Gary Antonio. I can pull energy from Gary Allen. Because we all working towards the same goal. And that fuel, that fire that stays up under them is up under me too. And one of them getting dull, somebody else is gonna be there to sharpen them up.
The only reason why I say that is because, your oldest brother never really declared retirement ever. You know what I mean? So, now that you are the new WBA 140 champion,
Yeah.
and you are the boss at the end of the day, obviously a certain amount of attention needs to be, um, on you, and the only person that adds to the team is just you, really, if you make that decision with you and your family. That's why I ask.
Okay, okay. Well, it's honestly, I'm glad that you asked because I'm pretty sure it's others that want to know. You know, um, we trying to continue to keep things in house,
Hmm.
just to be straightforward. Like I said, the adjustment making, that's all up to me. As far as a student, still, I still got to remain a student.
Hmm.
Even though my brother is boxing, is a student in my head and eyes. I also got to take in the reality. The fact of reality is he's a coach now.
Yeah.
Pops is no longer here. God rest his soul. You know what I mean? But I know he resigned within us. Everything that he instilled in us isn't going to go nowhere, and it never let us down. So the teachings that he done gave all of us, we know it worked. We know it worked because even individually, if you check all of our portfolio, all the accomplishments we made, all the national championships we won, outstanding awards that we done won, came from what he instilled into us. And like I said, we want to take this to the max. We definitely got to be open minded. We got to look at this shit as a half cup empty instead of half cup full.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's what I'm doing. I see that my oldest brother, Mr. Gary Russell, he's making that transition as well. I want to say my first fight without my father was Bartholomew, Francis
Vladimir. Yep.
Bartholomew.
Yep.
Francis Bartholomew.
Hmm.
Now, that fight was a little shaky. And I'm
Hmm.
only going to say shaky because they played uh, uh, um, a little video with my father on the screen and stuff like that before I came out, like right before I came out. So,
Unexpected. You didn't know that that wasn't rehearsed.
nah, man. And it took me through the ring. So I'm like, damn.
You never told me this before.
Well, look, sometimes I don't be trying to speak on things, but yeah, that man, that threw me through a loop, caught me off guard. And I ain't gonna lie, I got emotional. Cause that's my man, that's my big man. You know what I mean? That's Pops. He been riding his wave with us from day one. And now he gone. I can't look outside the ring. That matters. When I'm getting instructions, I'm not looking outside the ring no more. I'm looking in front of me and taking instructions from my brothers. A lot of times my brothers, they was the ones screaming out what he was telling us to do. you know. So we was all collectively just saying the same instructions, but everybody still, as students, was listening to what my father was saying. Everybody on the same page. Yeah, Pop saying do this. Twan, Pop saying do this. You know what I mean? So now they don't have his teachings. They don't have that voice that's like, hey, do this. Tell Twan to do this. They just going back to what was instilled. On top of that, it was just like, man, he's an aqua fighter. He was switching from southpaw to orthodox and stuff like that. So I had to keep making changes, keep making adjustments and stuff like that. When he turned southpaw, I got to step to my left a little bit, keep
Hmm.
stepping to my left, just so I won't line myself up. When he turned orthodox, I got to make the change. I got to start stepping to my right, making sure I keep this hand up, make sure I'm staying on this side, so I won't get lined up with a hook or something like that. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's these adjustment making situations. Yes, some of them happened on the fly, but I was still in the process of adjusting to my brothers because they were seeing what I was seeing too, if not with a clear view, bird's eye view. So like I said, I was still trying to make that transition to listening and making sure that I'm in a vulnerable state, like in a trustable state of mind type of thing. Like that blind faith is real. Sometimes you might not see what your outside see, but you gotta do it, especially when you're trying to be victorious and execute things the right way. And that was the first fight. After that fight, we really started getting used to the whole dynamic of Pops not being in no more.